Hi there everybody and welcome to Ireland, the most indebted nation in the world. It's Friday morning, the 4th of September 2009, and I just want to, if I can, go through a little précis or a synopsis and cover the last sort of month or 6 weeks of snips that we've been going through, and basically try and gel it all together with a little slide, sort of a group of slides if I could. The first one relates to Bertie Ahern and Brian Cowan. These are the two men that were at the helm of our little country, SS Ireland, while it crashed into the iceberg. And the one on the left sitting in the wheelchair after he broke his leg is Bertie Ahern, who was our captain for 12 years, and his main acolyte, the navigation officer, Brian Cowan, for 7 years. And we've now hit the iceberg, we're taking on water, and there's every possibility that we could sink. The next little snip is the official government printout from the Central Statistics Office in Dublin, and it shows as at March of 2009 what our external debt was, and our external debt is 1,700 billion or 1.7 trillion euros. And you can see at the bottom of the pie charts there that government debt is increasing, and they reckon by the end of 2009 government debt will be up to 85 billion, and the bulk of the chart is made up of private and commercial banks who borrowed money to the tune of 1.3 trillion. That's 1.3 trillion euros, 1,300 billion euros, and all of that, or the bulk of that anyway, went on property speculation. Total and utter gamble at the expense of our little country. The next document to come up is from the World Fact Book, and it's the list of countries by external debt, and in it you can see that we are sixth. We list sixth, and but when you go across to the two key indices, which are external debt per capita and external debt by GDP, we moved to number one, because every man, woman and child in Ireland now owes externally 330,000 euros. And our external, that's per capita, and external debt by GDP, we owe approximately 10 times our GDP. Now, this is a hardly invidious situation to be in, but that's what we have to deal with. And we must not forget as well that every year we have to pay between 2 and 3% on this 1.7 trillion euros, just on the interest. The next little clip shows the 6 men behind NAMA, and you can see on the left hand side Dr. Peter Bacon, who drew up this master plan, this NAMA master plan, and the rest of the people seem to be basically the luminaries who will actually run this on a day-to-day basis for the government. And on the right hand side we see an extraordinarily key man in all of this, who has now become a sort of bonded to the hip with Brian Linehan, our Minister of Finance, on the NAMA project. His name is Dr. Alan Ahern, and in the next snip we're going to discuss his background and why he's here, why I personally believe that he's here, and what his key role in the whole NAMA project. And both him and Bacon seem to be the key men in this whole business. This is Dr. Alan Ahern here, and for 7 years he was in the inner circle of the Washington Federal Reserve, at the core of international capital, and his main role there was to brief the Federal Reserve Board in Washington, and in particular Professor Alan Greenspan. We all know about what Professor Alan Greenspan is at, and the role that he played in the whole world debacle that the world faces. He is the main ideologue for this situation that the world finds itself in. So this is Dr. Alan Ahern's bio, just so that I didn't dream this up. You can see the markings in pink. Just I've highlighted those, and you can read it yourself on the internet if you want to Google his bio, his biographical material. It's just very, very interesting. So it is that out of nowhere a key Federal Reservist comes and is now bonded to Brian Linehan. This particular man you see here is a man called Dr. Peter Sutherland, and he is an ex-Irish Attorney General. He was the Attorney General. He sat in on cabinet meetings under the Gareth Fitzgerald government of Fine Gael. So the reason he pops up is because he is one of the most important men in the world today. He holds down two key economic positions and two political positions. And the two economic positions that he holds down are, he is the chairman of the fifth largest company in the world, which is British Petroleum, and it has a turnover of 2.5 times what the GDP of Ireland is. So you understand its power, its economic power. The other economic position he holds down is he is the chairman of Goldman Sachs International, which is the international investment arm of Goldman Sachs, which is at the core of American capital, American international capital. And we see it at work today in the whole shenanigans with what's going on with the debacle over in the Great American Republic. The two key political positions that he holds down, these are unofficial political positions, but nonetheless they are just so important as to be way beyond our imaginations. This man, the primary one that he holds is, he is on the steering committee of the ultra secret Bilderberger group. And this is down to a tiny group of men, and on a day-to-day basis he makes decisions about the direction that the Bilderbergers are going to go. The other key position that he holds down is he is chairman of the Trilateral Commission. And the three big front organisations for world dominance and for world government that seems to be lurking in the background are the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations, and the Bilderberg Group, and he holds key positions in two of these. And I think it's by no accident that we find ourselves with the final little snip, which is the arrival of the Rothschild Bank as the main economic advisor to the Irish government at this time. And this has all happened in the last week, 10 days. And what has happened is, all of a sudden, this is the financial muscle. These Rothschild bank, this is a private bank, a major private bank, which has been in existence for almost 250 years. It is at the core of the Bilderberg project, the Bilderberg Group, and it arrives, its major economic forte, is in a thing called merger and acquisitions. In other words, big capital eating up smaller capital. And it's sort of economic Darwinism. But anyway, the bottom line about it is that none of this looks like it's happening by accident. This looks like it's all happening by design. Little Ireland is in shit deep doo-doo, and all of a sudden these financial monsters are coming out of the closets and coming out of the cupboards. And they are not coming out for no reason. They are coming out to represent international capital and to make sure that the money that we have borrowed goes back some way to where we borrowed it from, one way or the other.